Hello, hockey fans. The Minnesota Hockey Connection show is on the air. We're at PACT-TV studios in City Hall in Duluth, Minnesota. It's Monday. I think it's November 21st. So Thanksgiving, Turkey Week. So we got special guest, head coach of the Duluth Denfeld Hunters, Jago. Glad to see you again.
Good to see you, Jerry.
Yeah. How many years have you been coaching at Denfeld?
I think this is seven.
Wow.
Seven or eight.
And before that, you helped Brendan Flaherty up at Duluth Marshall. How long were you there?
Seven.
7 and 7. You're a 7-7 guy.
Yeah.
That's a good drink.
Yeah.
So, okay. A lot of stuff happened this year after the regular season. Your school decided to jump up to Class AA.
Yes.
And
Well, our school didn't really. Our hockey team decided to, with the support of our athletic director, and yes, we did.
You just said something there that just clicked, triggered me. Your athletic director supported you. There's a lot of schools out there now that don't support their coaches. I see it all over the state, and it's just amazing to me why they don't. And a lot of things, like parents, and let parents get away with everything they can, and it just amazes me. But okay, you got a supporting athletic director. You're in AA now, and the whole idea that I heard, just was a rumor, was that you guys wanted to make Section 7 AA basically an all-north section. Is that true?
There was initial plans. Yes, it was. I would say that there was a plan put in place with cooperating teams that were supposed to. If one stayed up in AA, then there was as many as four that were planning to go to AA, and it was because of a lot of the northern metro teams are creeping in to fill spots, and Section 7 AA was one of them. So if the one team out of south of Duluth would have stayed up in AA, then at least three other teams committed to that, then we would have had 6 of the 8 or 10 teams of northern presence, with the hope of maybe even a 7th. So we wanted to move the percentages into having northern representation. But again, that's it's just kind of like anything. It's you have to be strong-willed and basically have a set in order to make tough decisions. And when it came right down to it, there was some of us that did and some of us that did not.
I was looking at your schedule. I printed it out, or I wrote it out, and you got almost a lot of the top 10 teams in Class A, and then you got Coon Rapids, you got Rock Ridge, which moved up, you got Duluth East, Duluth Marshall, Sartell, I think is still AA, Grand Rapids. So this is probably your toughest schedule since you've been a coach, I think.
Well, it's up there.
It's
just like anything, though. It's early days,
Yep.
and we honored some teams that we've played in the past, and we have to honor that. I think it's being a part of being a good neighbor. But it's not easy just to call up teams and see if they'll play us now that we're in AA and stuff. So
It's hard.
we've had some hard. Yeah, it is hard, and people have no clue what kind of time and effort goes into scheduling these games. So it's a good thing we have good supporting cast, and we were able to add some teams that are willing to either come up or we're going to visit them.
Yeah, little by little, you get 1 or 2 each year, and that, it changes it.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of teams in the cities, and I think talking to them, some of them schedule certain teams, they're 4 years out.
Oh, I believe that. Yeah,
It's like college now.
Yeah, and
It's crazy.
High school hockey, how cliquey it is too, and they want to stay within their little bubbles, and it's understandable.
It's hard to get in when they're all scheduled out that long, and you wanna.
Well, let's face it, I don't think we're ready to play the the big boys
Right.
at all, and I'm not going to put our kids in that position.
Well, let's go back to that. Going up to Double A, one part, it's very exciting. Second part, it's very scary. Wouldn't you think? Playing some really good teams.
Yeah, well, it all boils back to, I was at Marshall. We were in section, or we were in section A
Yes.
forever, and
Right.
we made the jump up to Double A, and I remember, I think it was Minnetonka, we lost 6-3, and that was the funnest I had in a hockey game in 4 or 5 years.
And that's when they had a great
and Brendan
team.
felt the same way too. So
Right.
it's something different. We get to see other teams. Our kids might get to play against the next Perunovich or
Yeah.
somebody like that. So yeah, let's give them that opportunity.
And I always remember when you guys went up, Duluth East coach always said that once you move up, we'll play, and he did. He delivered on that. At first, though, didn't Brendan really want at Duluth Marshall wanted to go to Double A almost?
Well, I don't know that there was such a time there that
And I think the athletic director wanted to. I mean,
yeah, there was a crossover of
there was-
athletic directors there.
but there
and
was the head of school and that just
Yeah.
didn't want to
It
push
went-
it forward.
it went to someone that could, to someone that didn't have a clue, and
Right.
the other one was unwilling. So it was just one of those
Well,
instances.
I want to say one thing. You and Brendan Flaherty, bless his soul, and Jason Watts, and you guys did a great job up there, and there were some great hockey teams, and it was fun watching you. And even when you went to state at A, that was very exciting. And
Yeah.
I mean, and now you went down to Denfeld, head coach, but you still have the same coach as Jake Johnson and Ryan Jarvis.
Yeah, yeah.
That's,
And we've had a little change in our JV team and stuff, but we got one of our goalies back, Jacob Snyder, that played for me for 3 years and is back. He's helping out with our JV team. So, but Garrison Johnson have been with me since we started, and
yeah.
they've been a big,
You guys-
big asset.
You know, you guys have done a great job for what you had out there in Denfeld. I mean, people just don't know.
Well, just to build on that, it's because I don't think it's that funny, Jerry. But if we didn't have Hermantown in our section, and it just so happens that it's
Right.
proximity,
Right.
we would have went to the state tournament 4 years in a row.
Yeah.
So what that would have done for West Duluth hockey remains to be seen. But it's a testament to how far our program came, because there's no doubt in my mind that we had a top 7 team in the state at the time. We just couldn't get out of our section because Hermantown was better than us.
Right. Better than most Double A teams.
Sure. And they've done a good job of building their program.
Right.
And I wish that
Yeah.
Duluth would get on have that same mindset throughout the community to build Duluth hockey like that, instead of building 2 communities worth of hockey, or 3 communities, or 4, whatever they want to do. I wish there was one common community that we could improve the hockey in.
Well, at one time, I remember growing up, there was about 35 rinks and politics in each one, and no one could figure anything out, so we all stayed at our own little place, and it was good rivalries, though.
Yeah, there was. Well, of course there was, but there was lots of kids, and there was lots of kids
It
playing.
was all kids then. Now
Now
we can't
we're-
get up the stairs.
Now, yeah.
So,
Now we're like the UN. The body of hockey is bigger than the people that are playing.
so you always said that you wanted the kids to have fun, and I believe in that 100%. And is Daha changing things around and making it? Do you think the way they're doing it, or do you like to change a few things more, or what Daha's
Well,
doing?
I don't participate in the meetings with Daha too much, and I just know that it seems that Duluth is. I don't think Duluth is that willing to change anything. It's a beautiful thing to see a change of mayor, that's for sure. But you see what happens in Daha. I mean, let's face it. And if you don't, you just have to go to a couple of the meetings. It's east
Right.
and it's west.
Everyone else.
And I've been saying forever that they should have players playing with likability throughout the city and have top teams and stuff. But once the politics get involved and the parents get involved and former players that played at each program get involved, they want to
Nothing changes.
pee on their fire hydrant and protect
Right.
their territory, and nothing changes.
And
And you're seeing the result of it.
Yep, it's going to show. And I've said this 5 years ago, and I think Duluth hockey and northern Minnesota hockey, if you don't change, you're in trouble. I mean, you got to get the kids. We don't have the money like the Twin Cities, so we got to get the kids out there on the ice on their own, where they're having fun and they want to be out there instead of on their phones and other things. I mean, I don't know, it's just a hard thing nowadays with everything going on in life, and I just don't like it.
Well, I think I've had this conversation with many people, and maybe you can help me out with this, but 10 years ago, say 10, 12 years ago, we were getting Division I hockey players, the development of Division I hockey players throughout northern Minnesota. And all I can think of is Perunovich that's came out of Class A. I'm just saying Class A within the last 7, 8 years. There's kids that are coming out of Hermantown, and that's our representation here in Duluth.
Right.
But with all these developmental models of the USA
Right.
hockey, wait a second, we're getting less Division I players. I thought all these modules and programs and
Right.
everything were supposed to help. Now, you take the national team development program out in, where is it?
Ann Arbor.
Okay. What is the budget of that to run for 22 to 23 kids?
Well, a few years back was 5 million.
5 million. So say it's 7 million now. So $7 million of USA hockey is dedicated to 23 individuals.
Right.
What could $7 million do for
Right.
growth throughout each region of the United States? We don't know because it's never been tried. And I think USA hockey's getting a little top heavy as well. There's a lot of programs and stuff, and all the parents have to pay for the modules, the coach, they have to register kids. I mean, it's a beast that's fed on the backs of children. So where is the investment back into the children? That's what I want to know. To the players, to the young players. Those kids that are going to the national development team, God bless them, they're talented and
Right.
great. However, those kids are going to get scholarships anyway.
Right.
They're going to get drafted in the top 3
They already
rounds.
yeah.
They're already on
Right.
the path. So
Right.
we have to invest into them. We have to invest $7 more million into those kids. How about
Right.
how about we take a step back and look at where other monies could be spent?
And I'll put you another place that where money should come from. I've been watching Duluth hockey for over 30 years now since I've been back, and all these tournaments and all the people that come into town for hockey, and they spend millions. The hockey people spend millions and millions, and they get a few $1 million in taxes from these hockey
for sure.
people. And I don't understand why the mayor's office doesn't put anything back out in hockey, really, that I know of.
Right.
That's major, They should be keeping rinks outside, major,
Yeah.
so kids can play. Get 3 good rinks on the east side, west side.
Well, we're definitely in. I work with 2 guys that one has 4 kids that is in hockey from Hermantown. Another guy has 2 kids in hockey from Proctor, and they are crunched for ice time. Everybody's crunched for ice time, and
We need rinks.
it's the amount of money. It's upwards and over $10 million that comes throughout the winter to Duluth because of the hockey tournaments. So there needs
It's amazing.
to be. Oh, it is, and it's.
And why they don't put it back
Yeah.
into what's bringing the money and,
And we
bring
don't
more
need,
money.
We don't need another sheet of heritage ice. We need another, not to that standard. We need a sheet of ice.
We need-
that's covered.
You need But you need outside rinks too that's maintained real nice.
Well, sure, yeah.
You can have a freezer unit, buy a used one. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do. And I think the corporate world has to start helping too, because it helps them a lot too, what's going on in this town. And I think with the price of sticks, I was just talking to Brian Ross, who owns Play It Again Sports and that, and he has 2 kids playing for Proctor.
Yep.
And he's telling me one game his kid broke 3 sticks on face-offs.
Oh, I believe it, yeah.
On face-offs.
Yeah,
What kind of stick is that?
there's
They give you 30 days guarantee only.
there's
warranty.
$600 gone.
Yeah, he says that, yeah, he'll probably get it for 600, but a lot of people, a top stick is 350. So I don't know what the answer is, but I think somehow we're going to need a lot of money coming from corporate, from the city, from the state, from the Minnesota Wild organization to make it so the whole state benefits, not just parents that have money that can send them to camp for 8 months. And there's over 5,000 kids that play every day, the whole year. And to me, it's not fun if I have to do that.
Well, we should be allocating monies instead of sending it overseas and stuff. We should be allocating that for our generations of kids that are playing sports and stuff, and keep them in these programs and stuff. I've lived in 7 different countries. 5 of those countries outside of North America I've worked for charities and stuff, and our whole point was to take the kid off the street and introduce them to stadiums and keep them busy. And it was a little boxer in Manchester, England, started Street to Stadium, Ensley Bingham, and you should have saw these kids when you put time into them and you show them you care. It's like it's an amazing process. So that can go on here if we could just convince some. We just need I guess we need a good lobbyist.
But talking about money, I remember back when I was going to Duluth Cathedral, which was Duluth Marshall now. Duluth East was always called the cake school, you know, because there was a lot of money, a lot of parents had money in that, but it's not that way over there even. But Duluth Denfeld on the west side, there's hardly any kid that really can afford $5,000 sticks, skates right now to play high school hockey and do all that to try to be elite.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
That's
Why
right.
they don't see the whole state doesn't see it. And if you don't look at the whole picture, well, it looks like you did the other day when you tunnel vision.
Yeah. They got the blinders on.
But it's crazy to me that they don't see it. And one of these days it's going to be too late, I think.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But okay, you got your first game right away. Boy, before you used to practice for 2 weeks before you even think of starting a game. But now you have about 6-7 days of practice and a couple scrimmages. And how did you do on you scrimmage Proctor? That was pretty even. And then you scrimmaged Duluth Marshall, I saw.
Marshall and
a
then
little bit, half.
St. Cloud Cathedral. Yeah, I mean, they went well, and they went okay. And it's, of course, we don't have everything in place.
Right.
But from the first game to the third game, we noticed a lot of improvement, understanding. So the kids adjusted, and now we're getting started against St. Paul Academy here on Thanksgiving Saturday. So it's, we got a lot of work to do in the next 2 days.
I saw the Proctor game, and then I saw the Duluth Marshall scrimmage, the first part. And I liked your goalie played, I thought, pretty decent on both those games. Was that the same goalie on both of them?
No, we rotated goalies the whole weekend.
I thought they played pretty good.
Yeah. It doesn't go in the archives if you win scrimmages, you know.
Right. No, nothing goes in. But right away, I think Hibbing Chisholm is going to be an up-and-coming A team. They've had some great Pee Wee and Bantam teams. Minneapolis has been good for about 5 years now. So you got a tough game there. I don't know much about St. Paul Academy. Coon Rapids is a AA team, and I know they have a couple real good players. And then Cloquet dropping down. Well, yeah, Orono's top 10. And then you got Rockridge, big. You got a lot of big kids on that team I saw
They had
last year
3
coming
kids
back.
over 6'4" last year.
Isn't
They
it
were big.
amazing?
Yeah.
Where do they
Superior
make 'em?
beat us last year a couple times.
Why are you playing a basketball team?
Yeah, that's right.
But then you got Hermantown. Well, it's good that you schedule them.
And then we roll into our Heritage Hockey Tournament on.
Yeah.
During
You basically
Christmas.
got the same teams, right? Like Apple Valley and,
Yes, pretty much the same teams.
yeah.
You got to stay loyal to those teams.
Right.
They're looking for games and they're filling their
Right.
schedules. So
And they all
You gotta
showed
stay-
up, so why
Yeah.
not? Yeah. And you can stay home.
yeah,
It's fun. Little Falls is good. East has a lot of good forwards. Rural, they got all those players come back. Pilgrim and Cortez and Lund, they're all back. So they're going to, they're rink rats. So it's like the teams back in my day where you got about 4 or 5 elite players, and then everyone else is just a role player and
Yep.
play the style that your team wants to play. East Grand Forks, I think I'm going to put number 1 to start the season because their main forwards coming back and they got a lot of their players all back. So I think they're the team to beat to start the season, but we'll see. I don't know much about Sartell. They're AA, right?
yes.
Yeah.
We played them last year.
Yeah.
They got us last year.
And your assistant coach Ryan.
It's from Alexandria,
Yeah,
so we're
he's from
playing
there, yeah. But they've always been a decent team.
Yeah, I'm Josh
it's a good
Myers,
game.
UMD alumni.
Oh yeah,
coaches that
he's been
team,
there
so-
4 or 5 years now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And then Grand Rapids, I talked to Mike, and they say they're going to be a tough team. He says, you think they don't have anything, but with Grant being the new coach up there, so yeah, you got some.
Grant, who's that?
Clafton.
Oh, Clafton's the new coach. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. Hey, I was going to talk. I was down in Showcase, North American Hockey League in September, and I noticed a couple of your Denfeld kids playing. One of them has really surprised me is Cade Shea.
Okay. Yeah.
And, you got to give this kid credit because I think this is his 3rd year in junior.
3rd year junior. Yeah.
Yeah, and he started out where most kids, I think, would quit, probably
Yeah.
not playing half the game, whatever,
Oh, there's no doubt with this generation of hockey players that a lot of them would have quit.
And right now, I mean, colleges have to be looking at him because he's getting a point a day game.
Yeah,
Almost.
Cade's
He
I
worked
don't know
hard
if he's
to
a
get
4.0 student, but he's an unbelievable student.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's quit in him. So he'll put in the time and he'll be patient and he'll get something.
Yeah.
What, is it Division 1? I don't know, but he'll
Yeah.
get Division 3 and
Well, I know they're looking at him.
he'll have a good career wherever
Yes.
he goes. Whatever he chooses.
Yeah.
He'll have a good
And then I thought a lot of people thought one of the better players in Northeast Minnesota last year was your Andy Larson.
Yeah.
And so, but he's showing that he's starting to show some. He's getting better and better too.
Well, Andy Larson, if you can say whatever about his ability and compare him to anybody, but nobody was more valuable in the state of
Right.
Minnesota
For your
as
team.
far as a team goes last year.
Yes.
Without Andy, I'm
Your team goes as good as Andy goes.
that's absolutely for sure. And if
Yeah.
we would have lost many more games if he wasn't on our team. So he was by far and away the most valuable player on any team in at least northern Minnesota.
And then I don't know where they're at now. Are any of the McClures playing hockey still?
No, as I understand it, they're going to school. So,
Okay, well, it's all right.
Yeah, for sure.
Someday you gotta make your mind and get going.
Yeah.
And life's starting, And then there was a Davidson. Is he?
Yeah, Davidson and Postler are playing down in the
Oh, okay.
team for Spooner, so
Oh, okay.
they're still playing.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
Yeah. Do what's best for you.
that's right.
So, What's your goal for this team being going into AA this year? Is it by the end of the year compete with all these northern teams, or is it?
Well, our goal is, of course, like you said, we've increased our schedule. Our schedule's not easy.
Right.
But the way I'm trying to deliver this is we're gonna take it in 5-game increments, and we'll see our progress through each and every 5 games. But we need to measure where we are. The big picture is where we're at the end of the year. Now, you can say whatever you want about regular season and this and that. If you look at what Clafton did back in Greenway, you mentioned
Right.
Clafton. He got all kinds of bollocks for scheduling that big AA heater schedule he had, and he was 3-7 at one point or something. Well, at the end of the year, his team was prepared to play upper echelon hockey in single A for sure. Now, and then they went to the big dance down in St. Paul and
Right.
and lost in the final.
Right.
So we're not measuring our season, we're measuring our progress. I want these kids to improve. I want their understanding and execution and learning of structure and all that stuff throughout the year. And then we're gonna put ourselves in a position to have a run at the end of the year and go
Right.
into playoffs. We don't know anybody. We don't know Forest Lake. We don't know
Right.
Andover. We don't know East. We don't know Grand Rapids.
Right.
So just go out and compete, and that's what we're gonna do.
Right. Well, that's one of the main things I think in high school hockey, if I can even tell one coach to listen to me, is try to get the strongest schedule. And because win or lose, you're going to be better. If you can stay healthy, you're going to be better at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And more ready for playoffs than,
Yeah.
having a weak schedule. And it's no fun being in a team 6-0 or something. That's not fun.
No,
to
it's
me.
not. I've done it for years and years, and
Yeah.
traveling 3 hours
Right.
and winning 7-0.
Right. That's a long bus ride home for
Well,
the
sure.
kids in you.
Yeah, it is. And
So,
I'm not in this for my record. I never have been. I'm in it to
Those
see our
kids.
kids get better, and hopefully they progress and have fun.
I say overall, your Denfeld parents have been pretty good. I mean, I go around the rink, a lot during games and that. And so that helps a lot too, that they support the team real good. And that helps the kids too, that they come out to the games and that. And then they bring some of the students that way too, extra students and that. So
Yeah.
that's good. This will be an interesting year.
Well, it's going to be interesting. It's going to
Yeah.
be fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, thanks, Coach.
Yeah,
Coach
for sure.
Del Jago from Duluth Denfeld, head coach. And they start playing on Saturday, November 25th, this Saturday coming up, right after Thanksgiving at 2 p.m. at the Duluth Heritage Center. So we'll see you at the rink. Thank you, PACT-TV, our producers Liz, Vicky, and Jim. And like I said, see you at the rink.